to another episode of Modern Black Male Vlog. I am so blessed. I am so fortunate. I am joined with two ladies to have hopefully groundbreaking conversation tonight. I got the homie Siren. Siren, thank you for coming.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Sorry, I was bringing up the statistics on the orgasm gap.
For sure, for sure. And I also have Glow from Conversations with Glow. Glow, thanks for coming.
No problem. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really ready to hear how this conversation getting ready to go.
I think we're gonna have a good one. We got a few topics on the board that I think are pretty good. Let's jump into the first one. I want to talk about sexual desire. I think that everyone has sexual desire. I think that it's a matter of maybe how we go about it. I can definitely say for me as a man, my passions are probably different than my female counterparts. What do you guys think about desires as far as sexuality and sex goes? What is that? What is that like through your eyes? What is your sexual desire?
Like from a woman's perspective,
Yeah. Mhm.
my answer is gonna be vague because I feel like it differs for everybody. I mean, and I will say, excluding our people who are asexual because that's not their thing. But I think for everybody it's so different. I mean, because I have like a few perspectives since I am somebody who's into BDSM, and I mean, I have my perspectives that I might just use on a casual.
I've been asexual before. Like I'm either on or I'm not. So if I'm not horny, not turned on, not whatever, I'm totally focused on getting the bread or whatever the mission is at hand. So
I mean, like, are you like asexual as in like you have like for our asexuals who are just not interested, like they can have romantic relationships, but they're not interested in.
Well, that's the thing. I guess I respect that it's like a spectrum because I've experienced it where I don't focus on it at all. I've totally been like like just not even in that mentally. And then I think once you get that switch going, I don't know, it gets me out of it. As far as physically going, I'm always attracted, but as far as actually like getting it in, I've had missions, I've had periods where it's just been focusing on this, that, or the other. So that's kind of why I said that. Have you ever experienced that, Glow?
Okay, so I'm about to like put my business out a little bit, but back in the day, like I used to have at least about 4 or 5 different men to have sex with. The reason why is because they all did something different that
Right.
I like. So therefore, that's why I basically had it. And yes, like my sexual desires were being satisfied by what I wanted at that time. So I knew who to call at that time of what I wanted. So
For sure.
yeah.
That sounds like you were empowered. Like you was kind of running it for a minute, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of why I asked it. And that, I think that we all have different desires, and I think as a man, I'm used to hearing women say things like that. I like Chris because he gonna take me and the kids out to eat. Ronnie gonna give me the pipe. James gonna have the weed. Luke gonna have the tickets.
I feel like that.
And I think for me, you have more sex with the more people that are in your life. I think that's like one of the most mind-blowing things because I like monogamy if I'm gonna be like in a relationship or situationship, but you have way more sex when you have more partners. So it's easier to be satisfied.
Not necessarily.
That's not necessarily true.
That's not true. Thank you. That's not true.
Tell me, break it down for me.
Yeah, I'm not in a full. I'm not like. Well, I'm not in like a long-term relationships right now. But for example, I'm gonna put a little tea out there. So I'm dating somebody, and they live a few hours away, and then I have somebody I'm building a dom and sub dynamic with. So me and my other partner, like even when I was like around them because they don't live here, we weren't having sex all the time like that. But me and this Dom, like we have had a little sex a little more. So it just kind of depends. It's nothing personal.
Sure. Let's talk about that because I think that goes in our desires, right? You're satisfied with that. Like you're having fun, you're doing your thing, and you actually physically, it sounds like, connect more with this sub. You're the dominant, right?
No, I'm the sub. I mean, and it's also distance. Also a distance thing. Like my other partner is a long distance relationship, so we don't get to see each other
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
So they're not around. But yeah, I mean, it does feel like I said, I can see like that the desire is different because I have my vanilla partner there, and they're not into some things that I'm into in BDSM versus the dom sub dynamic. They're into certain like activities I'm into. So those are two different desires, and they both happen to get met. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that having your needs met is huge for mental health. I think that that's a big part of striking your personal balance in life. So that's kind of what I was just trying to set up with that, just kind of seeing where everybody was at. So, Glow, with that being said, are you currently in or seeking a relationship? Not to ask too personal of a question.
Nah, no, you straight. You already. I get down with the get down. I'm currently not in a relationship, but I do have a sexual partner.
Mm. Okay.
The thing is that I choose for it to be this way. Because when I was in a relationship, like I in my last relationship, I guess he wanted me to be the submissive type. And with
Mm.
me, before I got with him, it was just me and my daughter and my son. So it was more of like I was more dominant in that area, like, boom, 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 things gonna go this way. I guess I couldn't find myself just actually being so feminine in order for me to actually be submissive. And it was causing
Mm.
like issues in regards with that. But when I did try and I did let my guard down in regards with that, I got disappointed behind that. So now my guard is back up, and my homegirl would say like, but you have you don't want to be in a relationship, but you're like doing relationship things, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
I I titles doesn't mean anything to me. Like I wouldn't care unless we have a ring on my finger and we done said I do. And that's the only title that I feel like that I would be obligated to actually recognize, to be honest. But
So fidelity or exclusivity only comes with the ring.
I can agree. I agree with that because it's like even for me, like I say with like the younger generation, people have the dating game so jacked up because people will think that you went on one or two dates and you just belong to them out the gate. Like, no, this is
exactly.
yeah, it's a trial run. We're getting to know each other.
I
Mhm.
posted something the other day on my Snapchat, and I actually posted on Twitter so y'all can see it. And it basically have like certain things like dating, dating while talking, dating, all that other stuff. And it's just basically just simple and clear as to what talking is, as to what dating is, as to what a relationship
Mm.
is, all that like and I totally agree with it. People just feel like that you really can't go on dates without you having to have sex. Oh, you already done had sex with this person. Um so yeah, I agree. Like, it's possible to just date and not necessarily have to have
Be
sex with that
exclusive.
person.
Mm.
Yeah, you enjoy it. I mean, like I always tell people, because at the end of the day, dating is a gamble. We don't know if it's gonna end in us being married and having kids, but no, we might find out that we make really good friends, or we find out that you know what, we didn't work out, but we had some really good moments together. I mean, you just have to enjoy the
Exactly.
experience. Yeah,
I
people are in too much of a rush to settle down.
they are,
They
yeah,
don't even know what the hell they want.
Mm.
because
I personally
on social media. Okay, my bad.
no, I want to hear you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. Because they feel like this is something that they want. So
Mm-hmm.
they feel like once they get that little butterfly, oh my gosh, like he's the one or she's the one, she's my soulmate or he's my soulmate. And come down the line, you come to find out that's not what you want. And I was in that situation. Like that was my last relationship. Like because of the things that he was doing for me that I possibly couldn't get my kid's father to do. Things like that. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. Let's be in a relationship. Like we were talking, dating, whatever you want to call it, for like a whole year. And then something happened, and then he was just like, oh, I want to be with you, boom, boom, boom. And I was just like, boom. But when I got older and just realized, and I was just reflecting on my life, I was just like, wow, like I am the one that actually rushed this relationship. This is why this shit didn't work out, because I rushed it because of the honeymoon feelings. Just like, yeah, this is right. And also because of a situation that happened. I just felt like, if I knew how to, if I knew back then how to actually read red flags like how I read them now, then maybe it would have came out differently. But
Absolutely.
it's an experience learned.
Absolutely. You sound like you got full closure on that, and you learned your wisdom, and your accountabilities there, and I think that's dope. Like you sound like you set up for conquering whatever you want to take on next. So most definitely. Y'all, I think that as far as relationships go, you have to know somebody in all four seasons. I think that that's the best way to actually know a person, because I also believe you'll never know someone if you spend an entire lifetime with them, right? And bear with me, right? We change, we evolve, and we grow. And I think that's the purpose of a relationship. So you should change. And unfortunately, I think the reality of it is a lot of times we grow apart, right? We become so committed or entrenched in chasing the things that we want, or like you were saying, Glow, those things that are missing, that when we get that 20% that's missing from the previous relationship, it seems like it's so much more. But inevitably, we find out every relationship really has that 80-20 principle. Those butterfly feels give you 80% satisfaction, but you're still going to be missing that 20%. And I think that's across the board. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying.
Definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah. So relationships are so hard, and it's such a blessing if you have one that's functioning, that's healthy. If you can be linked to somebody that you actually like and desire, it's so powerful. So I'm glad y'all went through desires with me. Let's talk about aggression. Do you think that, we'll say, people are sexually aggressive right now?
Yeah, but like in a weird way.
Yeah.
In a very strange, like Glow said, with like the dating situation. Like, it's like, for example, I don't know if y'all seen that TikTok that was going around with the young lady who had went on a first date, meeting this guy, and he had he had picked her up, took her to the bar, like took her to a restaurant, and he was trying to convince her to go home with him, and she was like, like we had a really good day and all this, but I just really don't feel comfortable going home with you yet because it's our first time meeting, which is valid. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not driving you home. You can walk. And he's like, there's no point because you're not trying to come home with me. Like, it's getting like creepy. Like that, to me, that gives me rapist vibes. Like, you that thirsty for some pussy.
You know what I think of when you say that?
And they definitely are.
Yeah, just weird.
You know who I think of when you say that? Tiger Woods. Kind of like it's assumed, right? Yeah. Like, it's a slam dunk. All you have to do is X and Y, and you're going to end up in Z. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. That's like the dating game right now. I've never been that extreme or cutthroat. But yeah, I think it bees like that. I mean, what you want now, maybe in different timing, because there are so many options.
But but with those being options as grown adults, be intentional. Again, like I tell people, there's a way to go about things. And I know we talk about ethical non-monogamy, but even monogamy, you need to be ethical in your behaviors. Okay, as a man or woman, if I know that I'm only looking for an experience where we're having sex, let me note that to you before you go hang out with me, so we can be intentional. Hey, listen, you seem really cool. Maybe we can get to know each other, but I'm looking for somebody who out the gate want to hook up. Okay, then you give people the option, but you can't take somebody's option away. Like you get mad, like, oh, you ain't coming to my house. Which, yeah, safety wise, I agree with the girl. We just met for the first time. You could be Ted Bundy for all we know.
Yeah, I just think it's real interesting. You make a great point, because that's what dating has devolved to. It's like we're so selective. We don't have standards. We know the outcome, but we really aren't comfortable with the journey. And when we get uncomfortable with the journey, we bail on the mission. What you think, Glo? You ain't never been experienced nothing like that, have you?
I'm gonna tell you, I think I have. It wasn't a date. Okay, so the thing is that I ain't gonna say folks like men just have a problem. I don't know if it's from like the questions that I posed or anything like that. I guess it feels like it gives them permission or leeway for them to slide in the DM, which is fine because I'm a people person. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's gonna feel like I need to screenshot and post it on social media and be like, get your man or whatever. I'm not one of those. Like, because I mean, I'm a podcaster, so that means that I like to have conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one dude, I was talking to him in my inbox. And we had exchanged numbers. Off gate, it was like, oh, I wish I could just come lay up under you. And I'm just like, the fuck? Like, you don't even know who the fuck I am. Like, you don't even know if just because I'm a mom with, it may look like I got my shit together, but you don't know what the fuck I can do to you and you and my shit. You get what I'm saying? I can say any fucking thing and you want to come lay up. And one dude had told me, well, this same dude, he was just like, okay, so I let that slide because I was just like, okay, maybe he was just playing ha ha. But the more time went, it was just like, I had hit him up one day. He was like, oh, you must be hitting me up because you ready for me to slide through. I said, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and delete and block his number and delete and block him off my Facebook because it was more of, you're trying to fuck and you don't even fucking know me, bro.
And you trying to
know me?
Siren called it though. Ethical monogamy. She said you need to be honest with your intentions so we can be fair on this. But
I was gonna say in response to you, I don't think it's I don't accept it. And I mean, for me, I know with my podcast platform, like people like, oh, well, you're sex positive, whatever. And I'm like, I'm open to questions and conversation, but that does not mean that I'm open to doing anything with
exactly.
you.
Don't get exactly.
Twisted. Yeah, like people think
I think that is so true, but that's men's aggression, what we're talking about. Because men desire it, we feel entitled to it. And
someone actually just told me that, Chubb.
Really?
Yeah, because I had tweeted, I was like, just because you call me beautiful doesn't mean you're going to get the pussy quicker.
Right.
And he came and we were having, I've been having a conversation with him, but he was like, that's men nature, not trying to take up for him because it's pretty rude. But he was like,
it is rude. I'm a man, y'all. I be doing, like we think with our dicks,
but I don't agree that that's necessarily y'all nature.
I don't agree either. It's just be like, oh, she tweeted this.
Whether it's nature, nurture, or whatever.
I just had this conversation with somebody earlier about how, like, for example, for me personally, I feel more comfortable having sexual experiences with either men who are into BDSM or the lifestyle or kink. Now, not all of them, but for the most part, they move different. Like vanilla men to me are too fixated on pussy versus like them being around it and knowing that it's a pleasurable experience. It's not like, oh, well,
that's some of the most powerful stuff anybody can hear, though. It's so true.
Like
That's what I think it is.
they have a different. It's not like, again, like, yeah, it's fun, we value it, but it's not like that crazy thirsty energy of, oh, well, I told her she's beautiful, like that I'm gonna get the coochie and all that. Like it doesn't move like that. So I'm like, when I deal with vanilla men, like I said, like with the podcast, oh dang, wow, you so beautiful, I want to get to know you. But as soon as you hear my podcast, the first thing out your mouth is, dang, you sound fun, I really want to fuck you. But you can't even get to know me because all you keep thinking about is just sex.
Well, let's break that down. Maybe vanilla men want to, I don't know what else to call it, but make you about one thing in sex. They sexualize you to the point where
Yeah,
you
they
are
have, because they're experiencing the virgin whore dogma. That's their problem.
There we go.
And they haven't
The
grown
Madonna
up.
whore or virgin whore?
You can keep, it's either one. They interchange the name, but Madonna, it's the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Like that's what it is. I mean, men were visual. As far as fidelity in relationships, what I always talk about is see no evil, hear no evil, because those are the gates for us. For men, our gates are our eyes. If we visually see something, we can be tempted by it. For a woman, it's her ears. If she lets a man get in there and listen to him, she can be tempted by a man. That's what I think are the most sensitive gates by gender. So
I don't know. They be messing it up with me and then they be sad, but I be letting them know.
You be hurting feelings?
Yeah. For example, I use a dating experience. So recently, since I've been home, I've had a few guys who have been interested in me. But a lot of people I've been really open with about, like my desire. So if they find out I'm into the BDSM thing, like I was looking for a dom, so I met one. Nothing is official yet, but we're working on it. So a lot of them were like, I had one guy like literally give me like a whole speech on why he wasn't into the BDSM thing, which was fine. Like he was a cool dude, but I let him know, like, hey, I met somebody, so once it start up, I'll put my attention out there. And he was all happy about it, but then got all upset, like, oh, well, I want to own you and all this stuff like that. Wait a minute. Now you want to change and warp into something that you're not, that you just told me you were like horribly morally against. But
yes,
because same thing with the other, like I had another dude who was trying to talk to me. He's like, oh, your podcast, you got me so interested. You're such a smart woman. I still want to I want to hook up. So we hook up and I let him know. I said, listen, how I'm moving, if you become a sneaky link, you just that. So if my energy goes towards, I let him know. I said, if my energy, I'm gonna put my energy into people who give me the same energy, who are consistent play partners, who vibe with me in the bedroom and outside the bedroom. Every time you hit me up, you're like, oh, we should go out for drinks. But the first thing out your mouth, you never invite me for drinks, but you want to invite me over to suck your dick. Guess what? I got other partners who I can suck their dick and we can go to the bar and we can do whatever else. So I'm going to spend time with them. If I get bored, I might hit you up, but I let you know from the jump, I'm going to put you in that box. You try to put me in it.
I think that's the way men exploit sexual partners, I guess, or sexual desires. You privatize it. You try to make it just yours, but you don't want anybody to see it. So you're free.
Like I said, be intentional. If you, like I told the guy, if you knew from jump that that's all you wanted, then you should have did it. But every time you talk to me, well, dang, you don't never want to come around me. Yeah, because when I see you in person, I swear we got to go hang out. But every time you text me, what are you saying? Can you come suck my dick? Can you come to this? Nigga, when are you going to take me out for drinks? When are you going to take me out to dinner?
But that's a tough one because you probably do have, it's probably quite competitive in your DM space. So there are enough of them to where they probably should know.
I've been letting the dom handle my DMs. I love it.
I mean, it's exactly what we're talking about, though. Our desires, the aggression that comes from them, and I think that you guys are proving satisfaction by running things and having it your way. Before we break into our last topic of female sexual dysfunction, that's something that you never really hear about. Yet 60+% of women, like I started the show, are dissatisfied with their sex lives. It's it's more difficult to find a woman that's satisfied with the sex that she's having than anything else. So why is that? Is it because men aren't aware of your ways to please you?
No, because men think that all the women wants to be pleased the same way that he pleases somebody else, and that's not true. You have to get to you gotta know me first. You get what I'm saying? In order for you to be able to satisfy me, you can't just come in. I'ma tell you. Okay. And again, spilling a little tea. Boom. This happened. So boom. I I guess like foreplay was in the matrix or whatever. So he was only down there for like 2 minutes. Me personally, I don't know if I could say this or not, but I'm gonna say it. I love head. Okay. I love head. So you was down there for like 2 minutes and just thought that he was just getting ready to come up and just, get to work. And I told him, like, I'm not warm enough. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm not warm enough.
I
And
love it.
and he was like, oh, okay. And he put his head back down there. Don't think that
Yeah.
you get ready to come up and ram your shit up in me, and I'm not ready for you yet.
That's probably
You
one of the
cannot do
area I'm
that.
missing out on. Is not what you call getting warmed up.
You gotta, but you gotta, even if your intention is you just hooking up with somebody, y'all still have to hey, what do you like? What do I like? Let's talk about it.
Exactly.
We can
You
have a
gotta
pleasant
know.
experience. It's 50-50, and a lot of men
I would
say,
love to have a woman let me go down on her for more than a couple of minutes. But again, like you start off the segment, Glow. Not all women want to be pleased the same. So as a
Yeah.
man, as men,
Um,
we are clinging to our length and our girth, and maybe a couple little moves that we've learned along the way.
and sex
It's
is more than
always a
just
jackrabbit.
penetration.
Say it again.
Sex is more than just penetration.
it is. It
Well,
really is.
for women, it's much
No, for
more.
men too. It can be for
Yeah,
men too. It's
it
just that
can be.
y'all are so fixated on that you don't go any
Yeah,
further.
absolutely. And doing the research, I also saw this Netflix special. I forget the name of it. Siren, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Is it the pleasure series?
Probably they broke it down. I mean, they broke down
What
why
was
men
that?
strike out on Netflix.
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. I'm not finished with it, but I did start watching it. It is very valuable to watch. It's a
Yeah,
pleasure series. Let me see.
yeah. I even saw Gwyneth Paltrow's like "Sex, Love, and Goop" or something like that. That's pretty slow. That's the intro. If you got a stiff chick, anybody listening, and you're trying to build up and really peel back those layers of female sexual desire, start with that one. Very, very light. But this one, the Siren's pulling up, is on point. So
Also, can
yeah,
I say I feel like people also don't explore outside the box either.
tell me more.
I feel like a lot of people I'll talk to people and they're like, well, I want to try this, but I'm scared of because I think we're getting better as a society, but we still have like we still have societal views on what sex should look like. And when reality, your sex is not gonna look like the other person's like everybody's sex is not gonna
Missionary.
yeah,
No, I'm just
yeah, just boring like everybody is not
boring ass shit.
why don't
Women
you
don't even like missionary though. Like
huh?
most women get bored at missionary, but
I
they
like
might
it,
want it. Yeah,
but we can change
it's
it
home
up.
base.
We
It's
can
home
change it up.
base.
We can add toys, we can do different things.
Exactly. But a lot of men don't like, I'm not going to say a lot. Some men,
Don't like it.
I'm
She's
sorry,
absolutely
y'all. A
right.
lot of men don't like that because they look at that as competition.
And it's not competition. That is your partner and best friend. The series
Wait
is
a minute.
called
What do you mean? It's looked at as competition? Glow. What did you say would be looked at as competition?
Y'all look at having toys in the bedroom is
Ah,
competition to y'all. I mean, I've done asked this question in conversations with Glow Group on Facebook, and I done said to them,
I got some theories on toys, y'all.
What's your theory? Because you can use I use
I'm
toys on
sorry,
me.
y'all.
You good? Ooh, I
They
was telling her I got theories on toys because you're making a really good point, Glow.
they was like, no, because I'm gonna be the only one in there handling her this and that and the third. And I was just like, well,
Yep.
what if she likes it? What if she likes
Yes.
it?
Not the
Well,
correct.
she's gonna
Also,
have
let
to
me
handle
ask,
that on her
what if you
own.
like it? What if you like it?
Right. And she gonna have to handle that on her own. I said, I feel like that y'all are like intimidated because y'all scared of other things that it may discover.
And they sound boring as hell.
I have a weird theory on toys. I go a couple different veins in this. My first theory is that they desensitize you and it makes it harder. Not as much of competition as it is harder to please the box. The second point I make, I do want my partner
not true.
That's not true.
Okay. I hope it's not true. But the second point is I want my partner to know how to bust a nut. I want her to know how to get herself off. I need her to know how to please herself and seek pleasure so I can fill that gap, right? Otherwise,
so you might need to add a toy.
Yeah, no. And she probably already know how to do that for herself.
Yeah, I use toys. And I mean, I want my gal to have a toy if she, can please herself to keep her fucking mental health. Because women don't bust nuts enough and they don't thrive the way that I think men thrive so simply. I think sex should be a very simple transaction. It shouldn't be 70% of your life. I think you can enjoy 80 or plus percent of your life through the minimal time that you spend just pleasing yourself and your partner.
But you, again, like we said earlier, you evolve and change. Yes. So your sexual desires may change. I feel like that's why I said people don't step outside the box. Because it's like, for example, I know in my generation, like a lot of men are using toys. So that's what I was going to ask in conjunction. Are they desensitizing y'all? Because they ain't.
What do you mean when you say toys for men? Like flashlights?
Pocket pussy, flashlights, anal toy, like a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I use vibrators on men.
Women are okay. Segue, weird random story. Women giving oral sex for a long time is exhausting. And I think that these toys, I think there was some consensus amongst women that's like the in-between, or that's how they can get a break. And I'm not mad at you all for that, if that makes sense. But I think that's another big thing in the world of sex right now. Those toys, the polygamy, like trying to bring in other women to disrupt the time that you're spending on dick and things like that. I just think those are differences in the culture right now than previously. Do you guys think that that's prevalent in your side of the world, or what?
I think people doing it wrong and for the wrong reasons is, but like I said, toys can spice up. That's why I say a lot of people let their sex life decline and get boring because they're not trying new things. Because again, I'm gonna be the only one handling that, or we don't know how to you have to. I'm not saying try everything under the sun, but also on the same token, don't knock it till you try it. Because eventually, if you're in not even gonna say monogamous, if you're in a relationship for X amount of years and y'all only doing missionary, eventually you're gonna get bored. Maybe you don't.
You're gonna get bored because you're gonna hear about listen, y'all. You're gonna hear about your other friends' sex life. And you're gonna be like, God damn it, I can get that. I'm missing out on something. Why the fuck am I missing? Like, I have a friend right now that's going through the same shit. Like, she is tired, and she's tired of being not satisfied. And me personally, I mean, I was a friend and told her, bring in, toys. I even bought a toy for them to actually bring in, but it's like he doesn't want to use it, and she's just like, she's fucking sick of it. And so I'm like, hey,
I just started using the rose because I want my partner satisfied. I don't know how I'm supposed to use it, but what y'all got for me? What I'm supposed to do? How's this work?
I always recommend, and I had a session with a couple not too long ago. So I had a couple for their birthday. I got to tie up the guy, and we got to torture him. So I brought my vibrator because I feel like a standard vibrator.
No.
You didn't listen to me what I'm going to say. A standard vibrator can be used both ways. I'm not talking about putting it up your ass. What I'm talking about is, okay, you can have oral sex with your partner, rub against her clit, give her head, and what she can do in conjunction is, which I do, and men like it, so don't knock it till you try it, is while you're giving him oral, run against the balls and the gooch. I love that shit.
I knew you was going to say that.
I love doing that. It's so simple. It's really, it's 50-50. You use it on me, I can use it on you.
Yep.
It's a simple toy. Most people have it. I
You
use
see,
the
I got scared about the booty hole, right? That was right where my mind went, and that's the problem with it. Is that
All
getting more
vibrators
open.
is not going to be able to go up
go in
your
there. That's
ass
you have to
cheek.
get
Like,
a special one for that. Even though I do recommend more men try to play up there, but hey, stay home.
I anybody try what you like. I'm all for it. I'm trying to learn some things.
Because
So
most
yeah,
men
that's
like that
good.
gooch part. I'm about to say that gooch is only like an inch away from your asshole, anyways.
exactly.
That's what scared me though. I probably just would get too uptight to relax to let it happen. But those are good tips. What other dysfunction do women suffer from? Because I again did research, and I mean prescription medication, psychological traumas, stress from work and family life, aging. There's like 30. There's 37 prominent reasons why women are enjoying sex less. What do you guys think about female sexual dysfunction? What is the biggest problem area out there?
When you say enjoying for less, what do you mean? Like, it's many women out here that's not wanting to have sex as much as men.
No, they report having less pleasure. By number, over 60% of women say they are just not satisfied with the sex that they're having. And all these reports, TV shows, and specials and things, that's really what they're focusing on and uncovering is that more women are dissatisfied than satisfied. That's what I
It's
was.
society. I think it's society, to be honest with you. Yeah, I
Mm.
know I say it all the time, but I think because we have lived in a society for so long that has really centered sexual pleasure around men.
Yeah, that's why I got the idea because I saw two female doctors talking, and I was like, "That's really devastating." This looks kind of pathetic. Like, it wasn't until 2004 or eight that they found a pleasure point for women. But every week there's a new dick pill out. Just the fact that women aren't publicly and widely having the conversations that men are having, because I don't know the numbers of how many men actually have sexual dysfunction, but through Viagra, Cialis, and all the other rhinos, black ants, liquor store pills that you can buy, you would think that this is the vaccine for COVID-19, how prevalent it is and widely available it is everywhere.
But look at this. But that's why I say. But look at the society we've lived in for so long. Women are just looked at something to be fucked instead of as a 50-50, we're fucking each other. It's just like, oh, like virginity, for example. Well, that's something you give to a man. Okay, what the fuck does he give me in return?
I think that's such a good point. In retrospect, it's kind of creepy that you would want a virgin. Oh, it was one of your tweets, Darren. You said, "Be honest, you want to hear from a pro or something like that."
You want
And
Me too. You don't want nobody that you always have to. You feel like you need to teach. That's
yeah,
always been my problem. That's my problem. But I felt like I did that when I told the dude, like, I wasn't warm enough. But it's just like you knew what the deal was. But if I don't want to feel like that, I have to teach you.
like I can, yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
can.
tell you what I like, and we're gonna get to know what each other like. However, I just feel like I shouldn't have to teach you at these things either, if y'all get what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
I get
I
what you
do.
mean.
okay,
I want a hoe.
You want a pro?
I want a
exactly.
hoe.
I
I
want
want
to.
a hoe.
Me too. Exactly. Me too. Siren.
Yeah.
Me too.
So that's what I be telling me. Like you talking about all this purity and us body count shit. Sir, how do you think I know how to suck dick like I'm a crazy ass pit bull?
Period. Yeah.
Time, experience.
And to close it out, I think that experience leads us somewhere. I think that experience is what we can call our journey before we arrive to our destination. As far as sexually or sexuality, do you ladies feel that you have a destination, a place that you want to be? Glow, do you have a goal, a sex goal or destination for the experience or journey that you've had up to this point?
I. I mean, I may get looked at funny with this, but I still want to have sex on the beach. Like I still haven't done that yet. Like that, I would be. I think I would probably be satisfied once once that is done, and then I may have another desire after that. But until that one is taken care of, then that's what I'm focusing on.
That's dope. Yes. Okay. What about you, Simon?
I have a whole bucket list written out.
I'm gonna give somebody an orgasm. I'm excited for that. This is becoming like my Mount Everest right now, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna climb to the top.
I like that.
For sure. I appreciate you guys so much. Do y'all want to drop any links or handles to shows or anything that you're promoting right now?
I don't know. Find me on Instagram at Siren, SYREN, _stallion. I haven't dropped new episodes, unfortunately, but my podcast is in the bio.
It's coming. It's coming. New episodes coming.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Glo?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter at ConversationsG, and you can also find me on Instagram conversations.with.glow. And again, that is conversations with a K and not with a C. I currently have a 15-minute radio slot on the radio station of WDRB on iHeartRadio. So if you all want to download that and check me out every Saturday at 6:45 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. Eastern time to support me, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. WRB, WKRB?
WD, D as in dog, R as in rabbit, B as in boy.
All right. 6:45 on Saturday. Please let me see that link, and I'd love to listen to that show. I appreciate y'all so much for making the time for me, and you already know until the next episode. Peace.
Peace, y'all.